This is my 14-foot jumbo, and over the past couple months, we've done a lot of planning, a lot of building, electrical, and a lot of testing, and this has led us to this. Wait, they saw the thumbnail, you can show them. But I think we should take you back and show you the whole build process.
Whoa. That's all of them. So we left these supports in just so that we'd have some sort of structure to like kind of connect each side together when we frame out this bottom section, which is going to be our subframe. All right, so right now we are fitting foam board in between these so it'll support a sheet on top. There's going to be kind of this void right here so that this thing sits above the bottom. We don't want it sitting on the bottom there, and we just kind of blocked it off with a piece of foam. So see when we're trying to put on the sheeting, I guess. Finally, that took way too long, but we finally got all this foam board in here. Some of it's still sticking up, but that'll be all packed down once we lay the sheeting on top. So that's what's up next. All right, we've just got the aluminum in. We still need to do this last little section right here, but we didn't have the long enough sheets, and that's what's coming next. But this part, pretty solid. It's a little bendy right there, you can see, but that'll all kind of get strengthened up when we put framing around the whole boat. Piece number 1's in. Finally got that done. Whole subfloor is in. The next step is to wait for the hatches to come in because I can't do anything else. Okay, so finally we're getting these hatches in. We've just framed up this first hatch. Still needs supports and stuff, but this is going to be the battery compartment. I believe we'll have this hatch coming across here, and we have an identical one that will be right here as well. This hatch is going to be sitting right here, and then we'll have the long 48 by 10 sitting along that wall to be our rod locker, and then the rods will kind of go up through that hole on the other side there. All right, a lot has changed since last time. This is all now connected. We have no under supports yet, but that will come after we do this side. We're gonna frame up these two hatches right along here, just like this one. This one, we're gonna put some supports right there. There will probably have a support going right here. Same over here, we need to put side supports under there, and then one right here. And I think after that, it's pretty much just the front, and then the framing should be almost complete. All right, lots of hatches are in now. This is how we've been framing it up. So we've pretty much just been driving rivets into these little pieces that are bolted or riveted together on the bottom as well. Then we drop them in here, and then we've got a lot of support here. There's gonna be sheeting over top of this, but this just, oops. All right, so these will just drop into place kind of like that. It's not really level right now, but it just has to get pushed in a little bit more. They sit on this, and then we'll eventually throw rivets in here and here. I think we're gonna start framing these bottom pieces and putting in side braces now. All right, we've just reinforced the side here. It's a lot stronger now. And as you can see, we also put foam into this little gap on the other side just to kind of make it flat. We aren't gonna go all the way up with aluminum. We're just gonna smooth that out and hydroturf right over that because there's not gonna be anybody standing back there. It's really just gonna be storage, nothing heavier than like maybe 10 pounds on there. So we're just getting these all set in, and it's coming together. So we skipped a little bit, a lot of it actually. Framing in the front is almost done. All I need to do is connect these two pieces, somehow figure out a way to strengthen that void right there. Probably add a support right here and a support right here along with the other sides, and then that's pretty much it for framing. Then after that, we're gonna be putting in the side paneling, and then it's pretty much done. We'll just need to put in like all the accessories, electronics, lighting, all that jazz. Currently, we are working on this front plate. It's got to support my weight, so it's going to be pretty strong. We've got these side braces going across. We didn't want to leave too much room, so we've added these. We're going to have this one, another one right here. And then that one is pretty strong. We also reinforced this front piece. And there we go. All the framing is almost done. We still have to frame this out. We'll see. It's been a long day. It's already nighttime. But I kind of want to get this framed out just so that next time I come, we can get this taken care of and start framing, or not framing, putting the walls on this inside. I might even do that tonight. We'll see how tired I am by the end of this. But this back hatch still looking the same. Actually, there's been a little bit of change as we have this wall completely sealed off now. Foam box, that's going to be battery box. Dry storage, live well, wet storage actually. That's going to be for like life jackets and stuff. This one right here is going to be rod locker, dry storage, and our motor area. For this little front section, you can see we went with a couple angled bars right here just to give it some extra support. I actually added another layer, if you can see that, just to give this something that would be a little bit stronger to hold, because as you know, I'm going to be standing up here a lot. It's where most of my body weight's going to be, so I just figured I'd try and make it as strong as I can, especially with no underbracing. There's a lot of room under there and no brace. So we're going to add some bracing going down to this right here, straight off of here, and I think that'll be it for the front deck area. And hopefully soon enough we can get the trolling motor, graphs, all the wiring in here, and that's going to be an exciting day. All right, these hatches are looking pretty good. This is going to be the battery hatch. We're leaving this spot open just so that we can have a switch panel. And then this is the fully completed hatch. It's our first hatch that we've fully hydroturfed. This one is not actually fully hydroturfed. Behind the battery, it is not hydroturfed, but that's just so that it holds the battery in pretty well, so that we don't have to make any other straps or adjustments. And then I guess all we're doing is those little panels. Those will probably be done within the next couple of days. All right, we got a trolling motor on here. Put hydroturf down. We've got our puck. We've got live scope rigged. We're gonna get that wired up and everything. It's a little different because it is a through trolling motor. So the live scope is actually gonna come in here, and there's gonna be a cable wrapped, and it's gonna kind of act like a bungee. So when it goes down, it'll stay out of the prop, and it'll be a free cable. But we're gonna protect it a little bit because this is not something you want to damage. And we've got our little stand right here for our live scope. And we also have started plumbing on our live well. So this is just running through the hatches all the way down into the back of the transom, which is going to be connected to a pump, all that jazz. All right, so one issue a lot of people have with running live scope on their Trivola, or Trivola, yeah. On this trolling motor in specific, the ones that have the through mount, is that you can't actually run the cord up the shaft because it goes through this mount every time, and it's gonna get caught in this, and you just can't have that happening. And if you just kind of linked it from there to here, it's always gonna get caught in your prop. So I actually found this video on YouTube. I have no idea who the guy was, but he pretty much just used a bike cable. So I got this at Walmart for $5. I just wrapped it, and I'm putting some protective. This is like literally just an old rod sleeve I'm using as protection for it. And I just taped them together, and it keeps it all tidy like this. Actually, I might not use that rod sleeve. We'll see. All right, and here we have the completed wrap. So this is still wrapped. I went electrical tape about every 5 or 6 inches around, and then I connected the end of this just to a carabiner, and then ran the wiring down into the boat. That'll have a clamshell over it so no water gets in, and pretty much just duct tape it to the trolling motor here. And then the live scope is obviously just on there with a hose clamp, and I'll show you guys how it works. Drop our trolling motor down, just like that. As you can see, it just extends, and it'll keep clear the prop all the way around. See? just like that. And then when it's ready to come back up, come up like this. And it's back in the coil on the top. All right, pretty happy with the progress we've made. All of this is paneled in, and this side is double walled, so this is actually a different sheet than this side. It's about an inch thick. And then we still have to do the paneling for the inside of this, but once that paneling is done, all the paneling is done, which is very nice. And then we'll have our rowel blocker going up here, and then we can finally plumb out to the side here. All right, today we are outside, changed locations. We've got all the internal plumbing done, bilge pump, everything is going out. And all of this is now routed into here. And we've also got the exit for this coming out right here on the side of the hull. Oh my gosh, the time is 6:30 and I've been up all night wiring the boat up. Oh, I didn't even do the build or anything. All right, well, this is what we got so far. We got a bunch of leads coming out of here. We've got the back half of this wired up. All the trolling motor, I believe lighting, all sorts of stuff. We got the little cleats put in. We've also got this trolling motor, little detachable plug right there so that we can attach it when we want to, and then do this so it's not draining battery. And then I've also installed these cool lights on the side, lights on the bottom. These ones are actually nav lights right here. So this one glows red. There's one on the other side that glows green. And all along the bottom, there is lighting. And then all along the inside, there's also lighting. And there's all the wiring we have done so far.
All right, this is Future Jaden, and what you're watching right now is actually the foam expanding. I put way too much in here and almost ruined the whole project, so be careful.
Oh, it's looking good so far. So we've actually got some of these switches wired up. We've got lighting in all the hatches now. We've actually, if we turn on this switch, we've got lighting under and on top. And then, let's see what else. If you turn on this light, we got nav lights up front, all installed and wired. And now, pretty much all we have to do is finish this mess of wiring, put the deck on, and then, yeah. All right, so this is super exciting. We've got all the wiring all through the fuse box. This is the master power, so there's actually a light in here as well. But this switch right on the outside here controls the lights just like that. And then this switch right here controls the side lights. And then this switch is nav lights, which is way at the front. And everything is now connected. The only thing that needs to be done with wiring is this lead for the rear nav light, but we can't put that in until the top is on. And that'll be coming hopefully within the next day or two, so we're almost there.
Hey, it's Future Jaden again, and this was our very first water test. We had gone through the whole build and not actually tested on the water to see if there were any leaks anywhere. So we wanted to do that before we had fully framed in the whole boat, and that is what you're seeing now.
It's pretty stable too. All right, the deck is coming together pretty quickly here. We've just got some of this, I don't even know what it is. I believe it is this stuff. I've just got some of this stuff. It's clear, so it won't show too badly, but it's just kind of in some of the cracks to fill in. I'm gonna be putting some along the edges here so water doesn't seep in, but the whole front deck is completely done. This is all in. You can open it up. See the underside. We haven't hung the wires yet, but we'll do that pretty soon here. And then I believe we just have to put in the deck on the rest of the boat, hang the wires, and hydroturf, and we should be good for the water. All right, I'm just pulling the boat back up. We did have our first launch with the cover on there. We finally got the whole top on. We don't have the back yet, but for the most part, it's working great. Live scope works, bilge works. We have some issues with the live well, but hopefully we can fix that. And then lighting obviously works, except for that one back little strip. Motor works. Couldn't get that running last time, but now it's all good. All right, this is a really cool step in the process. All the top paneling is on. This one is for the nav light, and then everything is working except for the live well. Live well still needs a little bit of work, but got all our hatches. Got all of these. They're all put together. Now all we gotta do is go in and fill these little seams with silicone, and then once we're done with that, we can lay turf on the top. And we'll have to wait until I order some turf for the sides of these. I'm gonna make it that color again, but the top is gonna be a teak, kind of wood looking decking, and hopefully we can get that done tonight. All right, we've installed some of this hydro turf on the front here. We just figured out a way to clean up these edges, so we'll probably redo these little sheets that are on top of here. And then these aren't the prettiest. We'll probably run a bead of caulking down each side, but other than that, it's almost done. It's almost 1:30 in the morning, but the entire top deck is done. As you can see, we got the graph and everything all rigged up. The lines are not perfect, but we did our best. This stuff will be kind of covered with a coating later on. There's a lot of stuff that still needs to be done, like the turfing in here. We're not going to do that tonight because we're taking it out tomorrow morning. And as you can see, we've got all the rods in that compartment. We've got all the bait. That compartment is all sorts of electrical. This is just gonna be a hatch that we have not finished yet. And let's see, going over to the back hatch, this one is all sorts of bilge, motor and gas. And then in this little hatch right here, we've just got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that gets the boat up to code. This one, obviously the live well. Then this one is still going to be that deep stow. And everything is ready to go for tomorrow morning. All right, guys, all this hard work has paid off. We're out here fishing on the boat, and gotta fish all the way up in these reeds. If you want to see some content like this where we're catching fish, then you can subscribe, and there'll be lots more videos this summer.